sound booth. Today you're in for a real treat because you're going to get to see how we train a behavior from start to finish. You may have noticed how I said behavior and not trick. That's because everything these animals do is just an extension of their natural behavior. Jumping, spinning, and vocalizing are all things our animals do naturally. The training occurs when we can effectively communicate with our animals so they know exactly what we're asking of them. So let's take a look at a few of those behaviors right now as we introduce two of our animal stars. First up, he's 17 years old and loves to splash around. Let's hear it for Avalon. Next up, he's 15 years old and loves to get rubbed down with wet towels. Let's hear it for Cody. What do you guys think we use? Oh, come on guys, what do you think we use as primary reinforcement for our animals? There you go, great, thanks. Definitely, they find fish reinforcing because they need to survive. But if they go to fish for every kind of behavior they did all the time, those soon become predictable and maybe even a little bit boring. So we incorporate secondary reinforcement into their training. Now, secondary reinforcement is anything other than that food or water that our animals have learned to find reinforcing. I bet you guys can give me some examples of what you think we might use as secondary. You can see we use toys, such as these balls that they're playing with, the hula hoops. What else? What else might they like besides food? Definitely. Touch is reinforcing for them, especially time spent with their trainers, or even ice cubes are things that we use as secondary reinforcement for our animals. Great job. Very good. Can you guys think of any secondary reinforcers for us as humans? Money. I heard money. How about a great day at Six Flags? Are you guys having fun? Very good. It's important to incorporate a good balance of both into our training to help keep things fun and unpredictable. That's right, Heather, but before we can reinforce our animals, we have to let them know that they've done something correct. So how would we do that? Heather, why are you blowing that whistle? I just answered your question. We use something called a bridge. A bridge can be any designated sound, such as a word, click, or whistle. It's called a bridge because it bridges the gap in time from when the correct behavior is done to the reinforcement that follows. As soon as our animals hear that noise, they know that they have done the behavior correctly and that reinforcement of some type is on its way. Alright, I get it. But if you are so smart, why don't you tell everyone what we do in an animal is incorrect? Heather, I said, why don't you tell everyone what we do in an animal is incorrect? Sorry, folks, I guess she just doesn't know. Vanessa, I just answered your question. I did absolutely nothing. But how is absolutely nothing something? Well, I'll tell you. We utilize something called a least reinforcing scenario, or LRS. And by being as least reinforcing as possible and not really reacting at all to incorrect behavior, it is less likely to reoccur. We wait about 3 seconds, then we can either wait for that behavior again, or we can move on to something else.
Oh, okay. So then it's no big deal. But when the animal does the correct behavior, we focus all of our attention and reinforcement on it. That way it's more likely to happen again.
There you go. Now you got it. By staying consistent with this method, the undesirable behaviors will fade out all on their own. By only focusing on correct behaviors and never punishing our animals, we let them know that it's okay to make mistakes, as failure is just a natural part of learning. This also allows us to remain positive in our training sessions and strengthens the bond that we share with them.
Awesome. All right, I think I follow along. You guys understand? Yeah. All right, well then, now that you've heard how we train a behavior, are you ready to see one in action? Yeah. Great, I like your energy. All right, well today we're working on a behavior called high jump. We're going to be focusing this mostly with Avalon, who's the older of the two dolphins. Now when we train a new behavior, we break it down into small steps that we call approximations. Much like learning to read, first you have to learn your alphabet, then which sound each letter makes, and how to put those sounds together to make words, and words in sentences, and so on. So we're going to do that same exact thing with our dolphins. Now the very first step is we're going to teach our dolphins to target. What this means is we're going to use that rostrum, or that face-like part of their face, and touch that to our hand, which Tanya's demonstrating right now with Avalon. Great job! Alright, every time you guys hear that whistle, it means he was right, so make sure you cheer him on and let him know he's doing great. Thank you. Alright, now that was pretty simple. Now that he's learned to target, we're going to ask him to target not to our hand, but to that boat buoy at the surface of the water. So Tanya's going to point Avalon over. He has a visual on that. He's headed over, and if he touches it, he'll be correct. There we go. Great job. Pretty simple, right? So now we can start raising that up just a little bit. Now, this time he has to understand that he's going something above the surface of the water. So Tanya's going to point him over again. Our dolphins have excellent vision above and below the water, so he's going to look for that buoy. Great job! No problem at all. Alright, now that he has grasped that, we want him to touch that buoy in order to be correct. We can start using this behavior with a hand signal. Now our dolphins hear at a higher frequency, so they cannot understand the words that we say. Instead, we communicate with them with a variety of hand signals, and each hand signal stands for a different behavior, much like sign language. So Tanya's going to give him that hand signal that now means touch that ball. So here's see if he do a high jump for you. Alright, he had a little flare in that one too. You can see he had very good intensity coming out of the water. That's exactly what we're looking for, because now it's time to raise that high jump ball even higher. Wow, that looks pretty high. I don't know, guys, do you think that Avalon can reach that? I don't know, let's see if he can do it. He's gonna need some encouragement, guys, come on.
To care about these animals is to want to protect them and the oceans of our world for generations to come. Having them here is a privilege and not a right, and we all must do our part to share this responsibility. So one more time, we want to show you just what these spectacular animals can do.